the village of Ayotunde, a sacred tradition is shattered, bringing a devastating curse upon the land. As fear and suspicion grow, the villagers turn their eyes to an outsider, Leona, whose mysterious influence has changed everything. In a desperate bid to save their home, the villagers make a heartbreaking sacrifice that will forever haunt their memories. In the heart of a vast and ancient forest, the village of Ayotunde stood as a beacon of peace and prosperity. For generations, the people of Ayotunde had lived in harmony, guided by the wisdom of their ancestors and the sacred traditions that had been passed down through the ages. Among these traditions, one stood out above all: the belief that a girl's purity was a symbol of her family's honour and the village's collective pride. It was a tradition that bound the community together, ensuring that every girl remained untouched until the day of her marriage. But as the rains failed to come one season, bringing drought and famine to the land, the people of Ayotunde began to fear that their once blessed village had fallen out of favour with the gods. The crops withered, the rivers dried up, and a strange sickness spread among the livestock. Desperate for a solution, the village elders gathered to seek guidance from the oracle, a mystical figure who served as the voice of the gods. The oracle, an elderly woman with eyes that seemed to pierce the very soul, delivered a grim prophecy. The only way to lift the curse that had befallen Ayotunde was to offer a sacrifice to the gods. But not just any sacrifice. The gods demanded the life of a virgin, a girl pure of heart and body, as a testament to the village's commitment to their sacred traditions. This proclamation sent shock waves through the village. Every family believed their daughter would be chosen, for who among them would dare to break such a revered tradition? One by one, the families brought their daughters to the village square, where the elders had gathered to oversee the ritual. It was decided that the chosen girl would be determined by a sacred test. Only a true virgin could retrieve a blessed necklace from the depths of a cauldron filled with water drawn from the holy river. The first to approach was Adana, the daughter of the village chief, a girl known for her beauty and grace. With trembling hands, she reached into the cauldron, but after several moments, she withdrew her hand, empty and ashamed. The villagers murmured in disbelief. If even the chief's daughter could not retrieve the necklace, what hope was there? One by one, the other girls followed, each failing the test. The atmosphere grew tense as the villagers exchanged worried glances. Doubt and fear began to take hold of their hearts. Whispers spread through the crowd. Accusing fingers pointed at one another. It was then that the elders noticed a change in the girls. Something had shifted in their demeanour, something that spoke of secrets kept and vows broken. Amid the growing chaos, attention turned to a young woman named Leona, a stranger who had arrived in Ayotunde only a few months prior. Leona was unlike the other women in the village. She was bold, confident, and her appearance was striking. She wore bright, elaborate clothing and carried herself with an air of mystery that both intrigued and unsettled the villagers. The men found her irresistible, and the women envied her freedom. But Leona was more than just an outsider. She was the catalyst for the change that had overtaken Ayotunde. Unbeknownst to the villagers, Leona harboured a dark secret. She had come to Ayotunde fleeing a troubled past, and with her, she brought a new way of life that conflicted with the village's strict traditions. Leona often disappeared into the night, only to return with trinkets and treasures that she claimed were gifts from the spirits. But in truth, these were gifts from men she met in secret, men who were drawn to her like moths to a flame. Leona's influence spread like wildfire among the young women of Ayotunde. They began to emulate her, sneaking out at night to meet with suitors and accepting gifts in exchange for their company. The purity that had once been the pride of Ayotunde was eroding, and with it, the village's connection to the gods. As the ritual continued, and each girl failed to retrieve the necklace, the villagers' suspicions turned to Leona. They began to see her as the source of their misfortune, the one who had led their daughters astray. The elders, too, realised that the curse that plagued Ayotunde was not just a test from the gods, it was a consequence of their own actions, their failure to uphold the sacred traditions that had kept them safe for generations. The decision was made. Leona would be the one to pay the price for the village's sins. She would be sacrificed to the gods to lift the curse and restore balance to Ayotunde. The villagers, now filled with righteous anger, gathered to witness her fate. Leona, who had always seemed so strong and invincible, now stood before them, vulnerable and alone. With a heavy heart, the village chief placed a burden upon Leona's shoulders, a heavy wooden yoke, a symbol of the guilt and shame that had befallen the village. She was led out of Ayotunde, her path lit only by the torches of the villagers who had once welcomed her. As she walked into the dark forest, the villagers watched in silence, knowing that her sacrifice was their only hope. And so, the village of Ayotunde was saved, but at a great cost. The people had learned a harsh lesson, that even the strongest traditions could be broken, and that the consequences of such a break could be devastating. The story of Leona and the curse of Ayotunde became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the importance of honour, purity, and the sacred bond between the village and the gods. Thank you for joining Jum's journey and experiencing the power of acceptance and resilience with us. If you found her story inspiring, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more captivating tales ahead. Until next time, farewell.